My name is Mike, and what I'm about to tell you happened a couple of years ago, back in late 2021, when my fiancé and I bought our very first home together. We were young, excited, proud of ourselves. It wasn't anything fancy, just a modest 2-story house in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Georgia. To us, it felt like the beginning of everything, a fresh chapter. We were an Asian couple, which didn't seem important at the time, but it would soon become painfully relevant. At first, the neighborhood felt peaceful, almost too quiet. The first few days were exactly what you'd expect. We unpacked boxers, arranged furniture, and tried to make the place feel like home. We met a few neighbors who were friendly enough. An older couple to our right welcomed us warmly. A man across the street waved and introduced himself. Everything felt normal. Everything, except the house on our left. We never saw anyone come in or out. The curtains stayed shut, day and night. A car was always parked outside. Someone was home. They just didn't want to be seen. The first unsettling moment happened while we were unloading. Groceries? My fiancé whispered for me to look toward the neighbor's house. Standing behind the front window was a man, half hidden by the curtain, staring directly at us. He didn't wave. He didn't move. The moment our eyes met, he stepped away and vanished into the darkness inside his house. We brushed it off, told ourselves some people are just awkward, just private. But over the next week, we kept seeing him, always watching, always disappearing. Never once outside. One night, around midnight, everything escalated. I walked past our upstairs bedroom, window, and glanced outside out of habit, across the street, in the neighbor's upstairs window. He was standing there, fully visible. No curtain, no hiding, staring directly into our bedroom. My body froze the second he realized I saw him. He stepped back into the darkness. I laughed it off nervously, joking that our neighbor was a creep. I didn't realize then that our safety had already been compromised. The next morning, he knocked on our door. It was the first time we ever saw him outside. He introduced himself as Gordon. He apologized, said he was adjusting something on his window, said he didn't mean to look inside our room. He smiled the entire time, too much. His words were polite, but something about him felt wrong. Still, I accepted the apology after he left. My fiancé and I agreed. He was strange, but we tried to forget about it. About a week later, my fiancé woke me up in the middle of the night. She heard someone outside. I checked the window and saw a man walking through our backyard, like he was searching for something. I yelled. He ran. A few nights later, it happened again, louder this time. Metal sounds, like someone messing with a lock. When I yelled that I was calling the police, he left again. This time, I saw his face. It was Gordon. Without a doubt, I confronted him that night. He answered immediately, smiling, laughing. He admitted it was him. Claimed he was chasing kids who jumped fences. The explanation made no sense. His smile felt wrong, empty, almost hateful. The next day, he invited us over for dinner. Chinese food. The comment felt intentional. Still, we agreed the moment we entered his house. The atmosphere felt heavy. He was already drunk, and it only got worse. During dinner, his comments turned openly racist. He talked about how the town used to be white, about how people like us didn't belong. He admitted to trespassing in our yard, mocking us. His anger escalated rapidly when he finally yelled that we weren't welcome. We stood up and left that night. Fear took over our lives. Every sound made us tense. Then one night, a brick smashed through our living room window. Glass everywhere. We called the police. Gordon denied everything. With no proof, nothing could be done. Less than 2 months after moving in, we packed up and left. We abandoned our dream home. Even now, I'm convinced that if we stayed, you would have heard about us on the news.
My name is Noah, my fiancée Gabby, know my wife, and I moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood. Our neighbor seemed perfect, friendly, welcoming. They even baked us a cake for weeks. Everything was peaceful. Then the arguments started. Late night shouting, doors slamming. One night, Veronica left and never came back. Daniel was sweating when he opened the door. Nervous, rushed. Then I heard a scream. A woman's scream. Police flooded the street. Daniel was arrested. Veronica was carried out on a stretcher. He had kept her locked in the basement. As he was taken away, he looked at me and said, "You'll regret this." Days later, I dreamed he came back, holding a knife.
My name is Devon. I lived alone, next to a neighbor I never met. Strange voices at night, tapping on the wall. Then one night, he spoke through the wall. "What are you doing in there?" Later, a voice inside my room said, "Go to sleep." I ran barefoot into the street, screaming about police, found nothing. No signs of entry. The neighbor vanished. I still don't know what was real, but I know what I heard. Slow, quiet. Final warning looking back. There's one terrifying truth. You never really know who lives next door. A smile can be a mask. Silence can be dangerous. Homes become traps. Safety becomes an illusion. So if you're listening to this late at night, lying in bed, thinking, your neighborhood is quiet, remember this. Quiet doesn't mean safe, and sometimes the scariest monsters aren't ghosts. They're the people living right next door.